There's a lot of thinking on your feet when you're starting a business from scratch. Indagare is a travel planning company with curated content, a community for crowdsourcing, and a boutique travel agency. I was a travel editor at Town & Country for more than a decade and was getting frustrated by the limitations of print and really wanted to connect with other passionate travelers. What differentiates Indagare from other travel companies is this hybrid model where we have content that fuels the community interaction, which then fuels commerce. So we follow where our travelers are going, and then we do more content and articles based on their travel trends and patterns, and then the more content that we do, that inspires people to take more trips to those places. So there's this wonderful virtuous circle between content, community, and commerce that really doesn't exist in any other platform. I would say the most important thing about starting a business is picking an area where you're personally really invested. You're going to spend so many hours focusing on challenges and problems, from big philosophical ones to practical ones, that you better love your subject. I've always loved to travel. Everybody we hire has that same interest, and it really helps unify us. Well, I founded Indagare because I think that travel has the power to be transformative, to broaden our perspectives and enrich our lives, and also because we should be part of a global community. And to do that, you have to be a steward of authentic places and cultural sites and the environment, not just a consumer of it. In 2015, when we had a great revenue year, as a businesswoman, it felt extraordinarily satisfying. There had been plenty of people when we first talked about the idea of the business who said, you know, this isn't going to work, and you haven't gone to business school, and you don't know how to create a business, and numbers don't lie. Starting a business from scratch is definitely not for people who need a lot of sleep. I certainly didn't expect all of the challenges, and really our business model changed from what the original plan was when it was just going to be a content business. You have to be flexible, you have to pivot. In 2018, we had 40% year-over-year growth. Managing 4 or 5 people, we now have 80 people in our office. Requires a focus on culture that I never expected. Our team spends more than 1,500 days a year on the road, scouting and checking out every single place that we recommend firsthand. So there's a lot of thinking on your feet when you're starting a business from scratch. One of the biggest issues facing the travel industry today is the issue of over-tourism. Last year in 2017, international travel increased by 7% to 1.326 billion people, far exceeding the 3.8% growth projections. The travel sector is responsible for 10.4% of global GDP and almost 10% of all global employment. One surprising fact that a lot of people don't know is 80% of all tourism is to coastal regions, which is why it's having such a negative impact on the environment. Another big trend in travel is combining educational aspects with the travel, whether it's hiking trips, climbing trips, or deciding that they want to take up surfing or fly fishing. Wellness travel makes up $639 billion of the $4.2 trillion global wellness market. According to the Center for Responsible Tourism, U.S. baby boomers constitute 80% of all luxury travel spending. Travel has made me a better person, and that's what it does for just about everybody, because it forces you out of your comfort zone, it makes you more flexible, and it makes you have a broader way of thinking about things. There's a great Mark Twain quote that says that travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and I think that's absolutely true.